ladies and gentlemen, even more than Rahul Gandhi, the one person who should hide his face and not say a word and genuinely feel sorry for what he's been saying, the most unresearched, unthought, and ladies and gentlemen, ad hoc thinking person in the country. Even worse than Rahul Gandhi. A person who has made so many goof-ups of late, and a person who even praised Pakistan and saying Pakistan played it right with Trump. Do you know who that person is? That person is this man, Rajan. Obviously so frustrated, he has no role in India now. He must remember what he said. His assessment that Pakistan played it right, it was all because of Donald Trump. And he said that I think the central issue was more personality, especially the personality of the White House, how they treated certain comments made by India after Trump claimed credit. He went further saying Pakistan played it the right way. It was all because of Mr. Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how an Indian can talk like that. I don't know if he has an Indian passport. I think he does. But whether you do or not, you owe your country something to be talking about India like that. Rajan. I mean, whatever little space some people had for you would be gone. Ladies and gentlemen, this deal is a slap in the face of Rajan. This deal is a slap in the face of Rahul Gandhi, who called Prime Minister Modi a weak Prime Minister. Rahul Gandhi is opportunistic, ad hoc, has an attention deficit problem politically. He said tariffs are blackmail. He said our Prime Minister is weak. And I want to tell Rahul Gandhi and Rajan, open your mouth and say sorry. Because from the 26% which Trump threatened, he brought it down to 18%. Which means in 8 months, we brought him down 1% every month. Now that's called the art of a deal. That's called negotiation. That's called putting national interests first. That's called having patience, ladies and gentlemen. You don't win by making ad hoc comments like Rajan and Rahul Gandhi. Anyway, a deal is not a zero-sum game. When two equal partners sign a deal, it's not only about winning or losing. It's about two parties committing something to each other. And these are two large nations. Ladies and gentlemen, Rahul Gandhi now said Prime Minister Modi sold the country. Let me tell these people the dictionary meaning of a deal, which means to reach or try to reach a state of acceptance. That's the definition of a deal. Look at the way in which Trump has spoken and the way Modi is speaking. Even now, there are no exclamation marks, no hyperbole. Narendra Modi is acting with intent. Trump is choosing bluster. But that's Trump's style, ladies and gentlemen. That's Trump's style. What is Trump's style? He has said earlier, looks like we lost India and Russia to the deepest, darkest China. Those are the quotes. One day, he said, India will buy all from Russia. India is a dead economy. These are the comments of Donald Trump. And he even mocked our Prime Minister. At no point did the Prime Minister of India respond. At no point did he get provoked. At no point did he respond in anger or emotion. And that is incredible. That is leadership. You take it on the chin. You accept the threats. The fact is, India knows how to handle Trump. And we've proven it. I'm really sorry for the way Rajan and Rahul Gandhi spoke, but what can you expect from them? Ladies and gentlemen, the way Prime Minister Modi spoke, with intent, he said, I deeply appreciate and fully reciprocate President Trump's sentiments and positive assessment of our ties. He said, India and US are close friends and natural partners. Big thanks to Trump on behalf of 1.4 billion people of India for this wonderful announcement. Wonderful, statesman-like, classy. No song and dance. A person who knows that he's leading India through a difficult situation and who's convinced that his role is taking India in the direction that he showed in that speech that he made from Red Fort a few years back when he said, Viksit Bharat 2047. And the road to that, we will constantly have people like Rajan, like Rahul Gandhi, sometimes Donald Trump making comments. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the details now. Trump is claiming that India will not buy Russian oil. What are the facts? Just 2 months ago, India and Russia exchanged 16 agreements on areas related to defense, trade, and economy. And on 5th of December, in case people have forgotten, India and Russia commended their wide-ranging cooperation in the energy sector as a significant pillar of a special and privileged strategic partnership. Now, that's why I don't buy this claim of Donald Trump. Absolutely not. The facts speak otherwise. Second claim of Donald Trump is that India has agreed to zero tariffs and non-trade barriers. But how is that possible? When India has been negotiating hard for a year now to safeguard the interests of our farmers in the dairy sector, and when today the government has said, Piyush Goyal has said, we are not compromising anything on agriculture, and when the US trade representative has said on record to an American TV channel, he said India is being protectionist about some areas of agriculture, which means to even claim or to accuse or question India of compromising on agriculture and dairy has no factual basis. Remember what Narendra Modi said in August. He said, I will personally have to pay the heavy price, but I will not compromise the interests of our farmers, dairy farmers, and fishermen. Ladies and gentlemen, it has therefore to be economic and diplomatic ignorance to say that we will compromise our agriculture sector, our dairy sector, any part of our agriculture, fisheries, or dairy sector without a thought to our farmers. To even say so, or to put a question mark without a fact, is to say that we will not believe the claims of our own government. If you don't want to believe the claims of our government, which government's claims will you believe? America? Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening here is that Trump is speaking in generics, India is speaking in specifics. The only specific we have so far, the only specific in the absence of the actual text of the deal is 18% tariff. That's the only thing we know. Everything else is speculation. I request the people of India to not go by the speculation. Otherwise, the liar wires, the unprintable websites, the liar wires, and the fake scrolls will have their way. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump says India will buy more American goods. Okay? Suppose we say we will attempt to buy more American goods. What is the need to be jumpy about it? Buying more American. The words, buying more American. Okay. We will consider buying more American goods. Where's the commitment? Where's the dotted line? Where is the number? Which goods? It's a standard Trump generalism. There is nothing specific about it. We need to stop getting excited about everything Trump claims, because here's a person, no disrespect, who has accepted the second-hand Nobel from Machado, who went around claiming that he mediated the India-Pakistan war, who got excited about Shehbaz Sharif nominating him for a Nobel and called him and Asif Munir men of peace. These things, I'm not saying these things to underplay anyone or to run down anyone, but there's no need to get excited about Trump generalizations, more appropriately. The only confirmation on tariffs, the only fact on the deal, the only specific thing we know right now is that it's 18% from 50%. That's it. You can keep questioning. How did we get there? What is the fine print? Well, we will comment on the fine print when we have the fine print. At some stage, maybe a few days from now, we will get the fine print. Till then, let's not speculate. Prime Minister Modi has got a huge tariff slash for India. This is good for the country. We have shown the world we know how to handle a Trump situation. We're doing well. 2047, Viksit Bharat, that goal intact, we're on our way. If anything, we've understood the art of handling Trump. This is my reading of the situation. Do you agree with me? Do you also believe that unnecessary speculation is against our national interest? If you do, share this video.